stop scrolling for a second, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change the way you move through life, how people perceive you, and the kind of respect and attraction you naturally command. I'm going to reveal secrets that most men will never learn, habits so powerful that if you start using them today, people will notice a difference in you almost instantly. I'm not talking about luck, looks, or money. I'm talking about the invisible forces that make older men absolutely unforgettable. Habits that give them a presence that people can't ignore, a confidence that draws others in, and a magnetism that sticks with you long after they leave the room. Most men live their lives reacting to the world around them. They chase attention, seek validation, and let their emotions dictate their actions. But the men I'm going to show you don't do that. They command the room without raising their voice. They inspire respect without demanding it. And they create energy that pulls people toward them naturally. And here's the part that will shock you. It's not genetics, it's not charm, and it's not luck. These are specific, repeatable habits, things you can start doing today that make them unforgettable in ways you never imagined. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly what separates ordinary men from the ones who leave a permanent mark on everyone they meet. You'll understand the psychology behind presence, the power of emotional mastery, the importance of investing in yourself, and why leaning into discomfort can literally make you magnetic. Stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal will challenge everything you thought you knew about attraction, respect, and influence, and it will change the way people see you forever. You're about to discover habits so powerful, people won't just notice you, they'll remember you. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share is something most people will never understand. It's not about money, it's not about muscle, it's not about style, it's about presence. The way you exist in a room, the way you move through the world, the energy you carry with you, this is what makes someone unforgettable. And here's the truth that shocks most men. People notice your energy before they even see your face. They feel it before they hear your voice. And most men waste this power completely. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a room and felt someone's presence without them saying a single word? You felt it in your chest, in the way the atmosphere shifted. That magnetic pull isn't luck, it's commanding your presence. And here's the first secret. Presence isn't given, it's cultivated. It starts with your posture. Stand straight, shoulders back, chest open, and chin level. This simple alignment sends a message to the world. You are someone who belongs, someone who matters, someone who is unshakable. And it's not arrogance, it's clarity. People are instinctively drawn to clarity because most of the world is cluttered, chaotic, and indecisive. But posture alone isn't enough. Presence comes from pace and intention. Every movement you make, every step you take, should be deliberate. Most people rush, fidget, and act without thinking. They give their energy away carelessly. The unforgettable men, those who leave an impression that lingers long after they leave, move differently. They walk as if every step matters. They gesture as if their words have weight. They speak slowly, not because they're hesitant, but because they know the power of presence lies in measured action, not frantic noise. And let's talk about energy, because this is where most men fail completely. Your energy precedes you. Before someone knows your name, before they hear your story, they feel the signal you're sending. Are you tense, scattered, anxious, eager for approval? Or are you calm, grounded, unshakable? This is the difference between someone who is forgettable and someone who is magnetic. Attractive older men understand this intuitively. They guard their energy fiercely. They do not waste it on meaningless arguments, comparisons, or social validation. Every interaction, every engagement is a choice. You do not give away your energy, you project it intentionally. And when you do this, the world responds. People lean in, notice. Remember, presence is also about being comfortable in silence. Most men are terrified of it. They fill the air with chatter, jokes, or unnecessary explanations. But the unforgettable men understand that silence is a form of authority. It draws attention. It creates curiosity. It signals confidence. When you are comfortable simply existing, when you can sit in a room without needing to perform, you automatically stand out. People are drawn to this because it is rare. In a world full of noise, someone who can command silence commands attention. There's another layer to this, one that most people never articulate. Your internal world shapes your external presence. If you are constantly anxious, doubting yourself, or distracted by the opinions of others, it shows. The eyes are the first to betray insecurity. The posture wavers. The energy flickers. To truly command presence, you must first cultivate inner clarity. Know who you are. Know your values. Know your purpose. When you carry that understanding with you, the world unconsciously senses it. People are drawn to certainty, to someone who stands firmly in themselves. That certainty is magnetic. And let me be honest, commanding presence isn't about trying to impress everyone. It's about being selective with your energy and intentional in your interactions. You do not need to be liked by all. The unforgettable men do not chase attention. They attract it naturally. They understand that presence is a form of unspoken authority, a signal that says, I know who I am, and I do not bend for anyone's validation. Most people are intimidated by this because they mistake it for arrogance. But in reality, it is the highest form of self-respect, and self-respect is irresistible. Now imagine combining posture, deliberate pace, controlled energy, comfort with silence, and inner clarity. This combination is lethal, not in a physical sense, but in the sense of leaving an indelible mark on everyone you meet. People remember you because your energy lingers. They recall how the room felt when you walked in. They remember the calm confidence in your voice. They notice the way you exist in a space without trying. And that, my friends, is unforgettable. This is why so many people fail. They think attraction, respect, and influence are about external factors, clothes, cars, or charm. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. It's about how you exist. It's about presence. And presence cannot be faked. It is cultivated through daily discipline, awareness, and intention. Every moment you move through life, you are sending signals. You are either broadcasting chaos, uncertainty, and desperation, or you are projecting calm, authority, and magnetism. So start today, stand taller, move slower, guard your energy like your life depends on it, speak with intention, sit with silence, clarify your purpose, make presence your practice, your craft, your ritual, and you will notice something remarkable. People begin to notice you in ways you never imagined. Doors open without asking. Conversations flow effortlessly. Respect is given before you even speak. And most importantly, your life begins to shift because you have become someone unforgettable. Remember, this presence is not a performance. It is a reflection of who you truly are. And the moment you begin to command it consciously, you stop living in the shadow of others. You stop seeking validation. You stop being ordinary. You step into a world where your existence alone is enough to be noticed, remembered, and respected. Command your presence, and the world cannot ignore you. Now, let's talk about something that most people never truly understand: emotions. Emotions are powerful. They are the hidden currents that shape every interaction, every decision, every outcome in your life. And yet, most men let them control them. Most men allow anger, frustration, fear, or insecurity to leak out without awareness, sabotaging their presence, their confidence, and their impact. But here's the truth: the men who are unforgettable, those who command attention, respect, and admiration, are not people without emotions. They feel everything. They just refuse to be controlled by them. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you seen someone explode in anger over a small inconvenience? How many times have you felt tension from someone who is anxious or desperate to prove themselves? That energy is contagious. People instinctively pick up on it. Emotional instability drives others away, but calm, controlled, measured responses, those draw people in. There's a magnetic quality to emotional mastery because it signals something rare in the world today: self-possession. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. In fact, the unforgettable men feel deeply. They allow themselves to experience joy, disappointment, and even fear, but they learn to respond rather than react. And here's the difference: reacting is impulsive, it's chaotic, it's raw. Responding is deliberate, it's conscious. When you respond instead of react, you send a signal that you are in control of yourself, that you are the captain of your inner world, and that nothing external can destabilize you. That, my friends, is magnetic. Now, most men avoid this work because it requires honesty, reflection, and discomfort. It requires looking inward and asking uncomfortable questions. Why am I triggered? What do I really fear? What am I seeking from this reaction? Emotional mastery begins here, at the edge of your own awareness. It begins when you stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming people, and take full responsibility for your inner state. When you do this, you reclaim the power that most men give away unconsciously, and that power becomes visible to everyone around you. Let's be clear, emotional mastery is not just about staying calm under pressure. It's about precision in how you engage with others. Unforgettable men understand the psychological weight of their emotions. They know that a moment of impatience can ruin trust, that a flash of insecurity can destroy attraction, and that unchecked anxiety can shift the energy of an entire room. They choose their emotional expressions carefully, not out of manipulation, but out of self-respect and awareness of the impact they have. And here's the remarkable part: when people encounter someone who controls their emotions, they feel safe, inspired, and compelled to follow them. People are instinctively drawn to emotional stability because it promises reliability and strength in a world that is increasingly unstable. Emotional mastery also includes embracing discomfort without fear. Life is filled with situations that provoke discomfort. Confrontations, challenges, uncertainty. Most men run from these moments or react impulsively to escape the discomfort. But unforgettable men do the opposite. They lean into it. They meet tension with calm, they face conflict with clarity, and they transform pressure into opportunity. And every time they do, their presence grows. Their magnetism intensifies. People notice, respect, and remember them because emotional control in the face of adversity is rare, and it communicates power without aggression. Another essential layer of mastering your emotions is understanding the psychology of others. Emotional intelligence is not just self-control, it's perception. It's the ability to read the subtle cues in someone else's voice, posture, and energy, and respond in a way that shapes the interaction positively. Unforgettable men know when to speak, when to pause, and when to listen. They can sense tension before it explodes and diffuse it with calm authority. They make people feel seen and understood without saying a single unnecessary word. This kind of emotional acuity builds influence, trust, and attraction in ways that most men cannot even comprehend. And let's not forget the most overlooked aspect. Emotional freedom creates internal strength that radiates externally. When you master your emotions, you stop being reactive to every small insult, every slight, every judgment from the outside world. You become grounded. You become unshakable. You no longer rely on others to validate your worth or soothe your insecurities. And here's the paradox: the less you seek approval, the more people are drawn to you. Emotional mastery is invisible to most, but it is felt by everyone. It is the silent magnet that pulls respect, admiration, and influence toward you. Now, I want you to understand something crucial. Mastering your emotions is not a one-time achievement. It is a lifelong practice. Every day presents moments that challenge you: an unexpected insult, a stressful situation, a personal disappointment. Each moment is an opportunity to respond consciously rather than react unconsciously. Each moment is a choice between mediocrity and magnetism. And here's the truth: every time you choose conscious response over impulsive reaction, you strengthen the invisible force that makes you unforgettable. Imagine what your life would look like if you truly mastered your emotions. Imagine walking into a room and being completely unaffected by chaos around you. Imagine handling confrontation with calm authority. Imagine feeling a deep inner satisfaction, knowing that your worth is determined not by the outside world, but by your own mastery. This is the kind of presence that leaves a mark on everyone you meet. People don't just notice it, they remember it, respect it, and seek it out. So start today. Begin by observing yourself. Notice your reactions, your triggers, and your emotional patterns. Pause before responding. Ask yourself, is this reaction serving me or controlling me? Develop awareness, practice restraint, seek clarity, and every day, remind yourself that emotional mastery is not weakness, it is power. The power to shape your life, influence others, and leave a legacy that is unforgettable. Emotions are not your enemy, they are your signal system. Learn to read them, guide them, and channel them intentionally. When you do this, you no longer react to life, you lead it. And leading your life from a place of emotional mastery is what separates the ordinary from the unforgettable. Remember this: every emotion you master strengthens your presence. Every calm response in a chaotic world builds magnetism. Every choice to respond instead of react is a brick in the foundation of your legacy. Master your emotions, and the world cannot control you. Master your emotions, and you become someone unforgettable. Now, let's dive into something that separates the ordinary from the truly unforgettable: the relentless commitment to investing in yourself. This is not about buying the newest gadgets, wearing the latest clothes, or showing off what you have. Those are temporary symbols of value. What I'm talking about is true investment, inside and out, mind, body, and spirit, the kind of investment that builds presence, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. And this is where most men completely fail, because they think growth is optional, that life will hand them respect, attraction, or influence without effort. But here's the truth: life rewards the men who sharpen themselves, who refine their abilities, who cultivate mastery over every part of themselves. Investing in yourself starts with your mind. Knowledge is not just power, it is presence. The unforgettable men never stop learning. They read, they observe, they question, they explore ideas that challenge them. Why? Because intelligence communicates value silently. People can feel it in your conversation, in the way you handle complexity, in the confidence of your decisions. When you consistently expand your mind, you stop being ordinary. You become someone who commands attention without demanding it. And here's the shocker: most men stop learning when they leave school, and the world unconsciously punishes them for it. Knowledge separates the ordinary from the unforgettable. But it's not just books or facts. Investing in yourself mentally means developing clarity of thought and emotional intelligence. It means understanding why you react the way you do, why others behave the way they do, and how to make deliberate choices that serve your purpose. Mental growth is what allows you to navigate life with precision. It's what allows you to notice opportunities, avoid traps, and interact with the world on a higher level than most. When your mind is sharp, people feel it. They instinctively respect you because intelligence signals control, mastery, and foresight. Next, consider your body. The unforgettable men invest relentlessly in their physical selves, not for vanity, not for social media clout, but because a strong, healthy body projects discipline, energy, and resilience. Your body is a reflection of your self-respect. Posture, strength, fitness, and energy levels all influence how people perceive you long before you speak. And here's the thing most men overlook: people are unconsciously drawn to vitality. Energy is magnetic. Someone who walks into a room with presence, with a body that carries strength without tension, projects power without intimidation. That comes from investment, consistent care, effort, and discipline in the physical realm. Fitness is not just aesthetics, it's authority written on your body. But investment doesn't stop with mind and body. Style, grooming, and appearance matter, not because they define your worth, but because they signal self-respect and attention to detail. Unforgettable men understand that these small choices, well-fitted clothes, clean grooming, a sense of personal style, amplify their natural presence. These are not superficial, they are extensions of the inner work. When your external presentation aligns with the strength of your mind, the control of your emotions, and the discipline of your body, you create a total package of magnetism that is hard to ignore. And then there's the financial and practical aspect of investing in yourself. Unforgettable men do not wait for luck or circumstances to improve their life. They actively build skills that increase their independence, security, and influence. They study, create, save, and take calculated risks. Money itself is not the goal, but the freedom and confidence it creates amplify every other aspect of presence and influence. When you are competent in your resources, people instinctively trust you. They sense capability, responsibility, and stability, all traits that make someone unforgettable. Here's something even more profound. Investing in yourself is also about your time and energy. The unforgettable men guard both fiercely. They are conscious of how they spend their hours, who they spend them with, and what they expose themselves to. Distractions, gossip, and meaningless debates are ignored. Every choice is intentional. Every moment is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more magnetic. And here's the secret: most men don't see this. Discipline creates invisible momentum. People notice it. Energy feels different around someone who consistently invests in themselves. They exude purpose because they live it daily. That momentum builds presence, attraction, and influence that no external trick can replicate. Investing in yourself relentlessly also requires a mindset of long-term vision. Short-term gratification will never make you unforgettable. Skipping workouts, avoiding reading, ignoring personal growth, chasing instant approval. These habits create mediocrity. Unforgettable men play the long game. They understand that every small effort compounds. Every book read, every conversation, every disciplined action builds a version of themselves that is magnetic, confident, and memorable. People see it in the way you carry yourself, in the ease of your decisions, in the calm power of your energy. And here's the part most people overlook. Investing in yourself is radical self-respect. It is telling the world without saying a word that your life, your growth, and your future are valuable. It's a form of power that cannot be stolen, copied, or diluted. When you truly commit to it, it radiates in every interaction. People unconsciously pick up on it. Respect is given before you even ask for it. Influence is granted before you even speak. And attraction, it is drawn like a magnet to someone who values themselves enough to grow continuously. So what does it look like to commit to this fully? It's daily, it's relentless, it's uncomfortable, it's waking up early to read, to train, to meditate, to learn. It's seeking out experiences that stretch your mind and body. It's having conversations that challenge you to think deeper. It's surrounding yourself with people who inspire growth, not drain energy. It's saying no to distractions, to shortcuts, to excuses. Every act of investment, no matter how small, compounds into a force that cannot be ignored. And here's the truth that will shock most people. You are the sum of the investments you make in yourself. If you ignore growth, you stagnate. If you chase distractions, you dilute your presence. If you refuse to challenge yourself, you remain ordinary. But when you invest relentlessly, in knowledge, in body, in style, in skill, in energy, and in vision, you begin to transform. You become someone whose very existence commands attention, respect, and admiration. You become unforgettable. So start today. Take a single action to invest in yourself right now, no matter how small. Read a chapter of a book. Go for a disciplined workout. Meditate, plan, or reflect. Start building the momentum that compounds every day. The world notices, energy shifts, and opportunities align naturally. Remember this: the most magnetic, unforgettable men are not lucky. They are disciplined, relentless, and committed to themselves. Every action they take, every choice they make, every moment they invest compounds into presence, power, and influence that lasts a lifetime. Commit to investing in yourself relentlessly, and the world will notice, remember, and respect you. Now, let's talk about something that most people overlook, but it is one of the defining qualities of men who are unforgettable: the ability to listen, to act decisively, and to embrace discomfort. These three elements together create a magnetic presence that cannot be ignored. Most men avoid discomfort, talk too much without listening, and delay action. They drift through life hoping things will happen for them. The unforgettable men, those who leave a lasting impression, do the opposite. They lean into life, fully present, fully aware, and fully willing to act, even when it's uncomfortable. Listening is the first part of this equation. But I'm not talking about hearing words or nodding politely. Real listening is a deep, almost surgical awareness of the person in front of you. It's noticing tone, body language, energy, and what is left unsaid. Most people are so busy formulating their next sentence, defending their ego, or thinking about what they will say that they completely miss what is actually happening. The unforgettable men don't do this. They listen with intention. They listen with curiosity. They listen so deeply that people feel truly seen, understood, and valued. And here's the incredible truth: listening is one of the most underrated forms of influence and attraction. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard because it is rare, it is authentic, and it is magnetic. But listening alone is not enough. You must act. The unforgettable men understand the power of decisive action. They know that knowledge without execution is meaningless. They know that opportunities are fleeting and that hesitation erodes potential. Action, even when it is imperfect, signals courage and commitment. People are drawn to those who move forward with purpose, who take responsibility for shaping their lives, who make things happen rather than waiting for life to happen to them. Action builds respect, attraction, and authority in a way that words alone never can. And here's where most people fail. They only act when it is easy, convenient, or safe. But life, the kind that builds depth, magnetism, and legacy, is rarely easy or comfortable. The unforgettable men understand that discomfort is not something to avoid, it is a signal of growth. Every situation that makes you anxious, uncertain, or afraid is an opportunity to stretch, to learn, to strengthen your presence. They meet challenges head on, knowing that the edge of discomfort is where transformation occurs. And every time they do, their energy intensifies, their confidence grows, and their presence becomes unforgettable. Embracing discomfort requires a mindset shift that most men never make. Most see fear, uncertainty, or challenge as threats. The unforgettable men see them as compasses pointing to where growth lies. They understand that every avoided conversation, every delayed decision, every shortcut taken out of fear is a missed opportunity to level up. And here's the truth: people unconsciously notice this courage. They feel it. They respect it. They are drawn to it because it is rare. In a world where most people settle for comfort, discomfort becomes a superpower. Listening, acting, and embracing discomfort are not separate habits. They are intertwined. Real listening informs real action. Action in the face of discomfort proves mastery over your fears and impulses. Together, these habits cultivate a presence that is unstoppable. People feel it in your energy, in the confidence of your decisions, in the calm authority you carry even in tense situations. And this is what separates the ordinary from the unforgettable. Let's be clear: embracing discomfort does not mean recklessness. It does not mean ignoring consequences or acting without thought. It means calculated courage, informed risk-taking, and conscious decision-making. It means facing conversations you've been avoiding, addressing conflicts with clarity and respect, and making choices that others hesitate to make. Every time you do this, you reinforce your self-respect, your confidence, and your presence. And that is magnetic. Another aspect of this is the willingness to stand alone when necessary. The unforgettable men are not swayed by the approval or judgment of the crowd. They are guided by principles, clarity of purpose, and awareness of what truly matters. Most men compromise their values or conform out of fear, but magnetic men embrace the discomfort of being different, of being authentic, and of being true to themselves. And here's the power of it. People are drawn to authenticity, to courage, to someone who refuses to bend under pressure. That energy is unforgettable. And let's not forget the subtle psychological effect this has on others. When you listen deeply, act decisively, and embrace discomfort, you create a sense of trust, respect, and inspiration. People feel safe around you, but also energized. They feel challenged to rise, to match your energy, to respond in kind. This is what influence really looks like. It is not manipulation or control. It is magnetic energy grounded in action and integrity. Now, imagine the combination of all these habits. You walk into a room and notice the energy around you, the subtle dynamics, the unspoken tensions. You listen, not to respond, but to understand. You act decisively when opportunities or challenges arise. And when you face discomfort, whether it's conflict, uncertainty, or fear, you lean in rather than retreat. That is presence in its purest form. That is the energy that makes people remember you. That is what makes someone truly unforgettable. But none of this is accidental. This is cultivated through daily practice and self-awareness. Every conversation, every decision, every uncomfortable situation is an opportunity to refine these habits. Every time you hesitate, observe the lesson. Every time you step forward, notice the impact. The world responds to action, not intention. It responds to courage, not comfort. And it responds to someone who refuses to drift through life unconsciously. So start today. Practice listening deeply in every conversation. Observe what is said and what is unsaid. Take action in areas where you have been waiting, hesitating, or avoiding responsibility. And actively seek experiences that challenge you, that push you out of your comfort zone, that demand courage. Every step builds momentum. Every choice reinforces your presence. Every act shapes the man who becomes unforgettable. Remember this: people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Listening, acting, and embracing discomfort create a presence that is felt long after you are gone. These are the habits that transform ordinary men into men who are noticed, respected, and remembered. Command your attention through awareness, strengthen your impact through action, and expand your influence through courage. Practice these consistently, and you will stop being just another person in the room. You will become unforgettable,